Are first-time home buyers screwed? Mostly looking at millennials and old Gen Z here. With rent as high as it is, student loans kicking back in, and wages not keeping up with the rampant inflation, how are our young people supposed to afford these homes? Even if they use something like an FHA and only need to put down $5,000 for a $500,000 home, that's still $25,000 they need to save. Plus, with current interest rates, the monthly payment on that easily clear $3,000 a month. What should FTHB do? I'm 40, single, living in a MCOL city, and I'm just making peace with it. I've been saving for 10 years. Have a nice down payment. But I can't talk myself into committing to a $2,000 mortgage when I might be out of a job in a year. And I have no partner family to rely on. That's for a condo. Because the median price of SFH here in my Mount town is $525,000 right now. So, I'll either keep plodding along saving, or use the money to finance a transition to less well-paying career. Either way, I won't be buying for a while. The state of Utah actually tried to tackle this in a half-assed sort of way. Utah offers $20,000 grants to help with down payment and closing costs for first-time buyers. The catch is it only applies to new construction under $450,000, which in the populated parts of Utah just doesn't exist in large amounts. Most new construction is 4-bedroom 2000 SQFT, and thus quite a bit over $450,000. Appreciate the effort, but next time write something that can actually help more people. Yes, it's hard. If you get yourself to a LCOL area and find a job you like, that can make a huge difference. Yes, HGTV and YouTube turned everyone into a realtor and real estate expert. I am moving to a lower cost of living area outside of my work. 1-hour commute till I figure out plan B. There isn't much of an option. I currently live in a HCOL area and it's too much even for a 2-person household. Yes, boomers gained record wealth due to advantageous circumstances and then slammed the door behind them. Millennials have been fucked their whole lives. That ain't changing anytime soon. I put down one on my first home with a conventional loan. I don't think you need to put down $5,000. But with rates so high, you are correct, it's becoming even more hard for first-time home buyers. My mortgage is $3,400 a month. $500,000 is a lot of money. More than the median home price. To an extent, it has always been true that first-time buyers need to make compromises. They won't get an above-average home in the area they want with minimal savings. So you buy in a lower-cost area and commute farther. Relocate to a lower-cost area. Jackson, MI has tons of homes for under $200,000. Wait until you are married with dual income. Get help from family. Buy a condo or townhome at a much lower cost, advance in your career and make more. Save for longer. With 20 down you can afford a lot more on the same payment. To me, the best perspective is that a home is one asset type. And there are many ways of building wealth. And having a long-term perspective is critical. I bought my first home at 40. But mostly saved and invested, prioritizing retirement accounts prior. I think it was a good decision personally versus having all of our wealth in an illiquid asset early on. For the FTHB, personally, I would rather rent in an area that I wanted to live versus buying farther out while being disciplined in saving, investing the leftover, and not buying unless you have a longer time horizon. Marry the house. Date the interest rate. Make sure you love the house before you marry it. Ask all the right questions. Meet its parents. Because when rates go down, you don't want to be rushing to sell and find yourself in an infinite loop of buying high, selling kinda high, and rebuying high again and again. Rent until you find what you love. Don't panic if it doesn't want to marry you. Plenty of fish in the sea. $500,000 home. Not buy a $500,000 home. I hate to say this, but I think as a society we need to start removing first-time home buying from the life path and aspire to other goals. It just doesn't make a ton of sense right now to buy homes for many. There is still many ways to accrue and amass wealth with healthy budgeting and early and often investing. Start small. My first home was a condo in a 6-unit building in an area of the city that was good, but not yet great, though it was close to great neighborhoods, transportation, etc. Over time, it became a great neighborhood. As a first-time home buyer, you buy what you can afford even if it's not your dream house, dream location, or perfect for you. Later, when you have more money, you buy more house, if that's what you need. Really area dependent here. Not all area are $500K first-time home. In my area at least, $500K get you a 4B2 single family. For a starter home, which should be a smaller townhouse, you can land a nice one for $300K. And if you want something older and cheaper but need some TLC, you can get them as low as $100K. So I guess young professions aren't fully screwed now. If they push for remote work, they could settle in cheaper area, or even commute 2 hours if they need to be in office but wants a cheaper home. There are definitely options available to buy a starter home. It not ideal and easy like it was decades ago, but still doable. Wait until millennials and older Gen Z have the burden of having to financially take care of their aging parents. That is when shit is really going to hit the fan. Young people supposed to afford these homes? They aren't. At least they aren't supposed to afford the homes they want. It's by design. Your entire life you are shown things you can't afford and told to want them, so you work hard, only to be shown more things you still can't afford, or to find out now that you all could afford it. A bidding war. As with most things in life, you need to find what you specifically want. Now what everyone wants, and start saving buying that. Wait and save your cash, deals are coming. Calling a $500K home a starter home is hilarious. Find something cheaper. I look at homes all across the country for my job. Move somewhere else if that's all you can find. Depending on your area, there are government and non-profit programs to help first-time home buyers purchase their home. 1. Have a very good job. 2. Inheritance. 3. House prices crash or stop growth because this model is unsustainable, or some combination of the three. Low down payment doesn't really help since the monthly payment would be out of affordability. If a house costs $450K and you make $75K a year, a 20 would not be sufficient for a bank to lend to you, as the monthly payment would be too high. That doesn't even take into account condo fees, which also makes the cheapest homes still unaffordable. Yes, until the government removes housing from free market trade and treats it like shelter, then things will just get worse and worse. Real estate is probably the #1 most exploited and aggressively manipulated market in existence right now, and the people benefiting from it are not working Americans. Such a loaded question depends on so many factors. But I'd say if you can't save $25,000, you have no business buying a $300,000 home, let alone $500,000, and I say that as a millennial. I saved that kind of money in my prep for my first home purchase at 25 back during GFC. It was necessary to make the closing and everything else work. And that was on a $165,000 property. Last roof I replaced on one of my properties was $25,000. If you can't save that, then yes, you shouldn't be buying.